Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Thursday, January 19, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comments section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comments section below. Detroit Pistons vs Chicago Bulls. The Thursday NBA schedule will tip off with a matchup between the Chicago Bulls and the Detroit Pistons from Paris, France. The Bulls, 20-24, have split their previous 10 games and hold a half-game lead over Toronto for 10th place in the Eastern Conference standings. On Sunday, Chicago outscored NBA champion Golden State by 17 points during the second half of a 132-118 home victory. Chicago has not lived up to expectations this season in a large part due to their play on the road. The Bulls are 0-4 against the spread as a road favorite, but this is the game I like them to win and cover the spread. Detroit is not playing good basketball and could be without Bogdanovic and Noel, which is a big hit to their already depleted roster. The Bulls, meanwhile, are getting healthy with DeRozan expected to play, who is a focal point of Chicago's offense. This season, in the one game these two teams played, the Bulls won by 14 points, which is around what I'm expecting here. When the Pistons have been losing, it has been by a considerable amount, as in their last 7 losses, the average margin of defeat is 16.7 ppg. Detroit's defense is a big concern as the Pistons won't be able to keep up with the Bulls' offense. Take Chicago -6 points here. With how bad Detroit's defense is, I like the over in this matchup, as Chicago will be able to score a ton of points. DeRozan being back is massive for the Bulls' offense as he helps run the offense and should push Chicago to play at a faster pace. The Bulls currently play at a pace of 101.7, which ranks 15th, while tanking 12th in offensive efficiency. The Pistons, meanwhile, are playing at a pace of 102.3, which ranks 13th, while ranking 29th in defensive efficiency. As well, the game these two teams played a few weeks ago went for 250 points. Meanwhile, Detroit is 27-19-1 in hitting the over this season, while Chicago is 22-22. Our total pick is over 235.5 points. Celtics vs Warriors. On Thursday evening, the Golden State Warriors traveled to TD Garden for a road matchup with the Boston Celtics. The Warriors crawled back to the .500 mark with a 127-118 win over the Washington Wizards Monday. The Celtics defeated the Charlotte Hornets 130-118. The tip is slated for 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Boston opens as a home favorite. The Celtics could not get over the hump last season, falling to the Golden State Warriors in a hard-fought NBA Finals. This year they have a look in their eye. Boston continued its dominant first half of the season with a 130-118 win over the Charlotte Hornets, improving to 33-12 and holding the best record in the Eastern Conference. Jason Tatum dropped a whopping 51 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 dimes. Golden State is not the same club this year, dealing with some nagging injuries and typically getting every team's best effort each night. But Boston will look for revenge from last season. They have won 7 straight games, lead the NBA in offensive rating, and put forth an elite brand of basketball. Our team pick is Boston Celtics -5 points. Boston leads the NBA in assist-to-turnover ratio, so there will not be a lot of opportunities for Golden State to run out for easy baskets. They are also 4th in turnover percent, and Golden State is next to last. Look for this game to go under. Take it with confidence as this will have a playoff-type atmosphere. Our total pick is under. Timberwolves vs Raptor. On Thursday night, the Toronto Raptors traveled to the Target Center for a road tilt with the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Raptors lost 130-122 to the Milwaukee Bucks Tuesday night. The Timberwolves are in action Wednesday and will be on the second leg of a back-to-back. The tip is slated for 8:10 p.m. Eastern Time. Minnesota opens as a home favorite. Minnesota is in action Wednesday night against the Denver Nuggets and will be on the second leg of a back-to-back for this interconference game with the Raptors. 2 nights prior, they suffered a brutal defeat at the hands of the Utah Jazz, losing 126-125. Rudy Gobert was listed as questionable before the game with right groin soreness. He started against his former team, but only played 5 minutes before leaving again. Expect him to sit Thursday. Toronto struggles against teams with premier centers, but they will not have both Karl-Anthony Towns or Gobert for this game and will be playing 2 games in 2 nights. This is a good spot for Toronto to get back in the win column, and they desperately need them as they are in danger of falling deep in a competitive Eastern Conference. Take Toronto minus 2.5 points. The Raptors ranked 27th in pace heading into this contest against Minnesota. Toronto fell to 20-25 on the season with a 130-122 loss to the Milwaukee Bucks Tuesday night. Fred VanVleet led Toronto with 39 points, but it was the work of Scotty Barnes that was promising. Although he scored 14 points and 13 rebounds last game, Barnes had scored 20 or more points in 4 of his 5 previous games. Without Gobert available, he has a good chance to do some work inside against a Minnesota team 26th in rebounding percentage. Both teams will struggle defensively in this game, take the over with confidence. Suns vs Nets. It's an interconference matchup on the hardwood between a pair of teams on opposite sides of the playoff cut line as they meet in the Valley of the Sun. The Brooklyn Nets are on the road as they make the trip to face the Phoenix Suns Thursday night. Brooklyn was upended 106-98 by San Antonio on the road in their previous contest Tuesday night, losing outright as a 2.5-point favorite. Phoenix was clobbered 136-106 on the road by Memphis in their previous contest Monday night, failing to cover as a 12-point underdog. In the all-time regular season series between the teams, the Suns own a 48-46 advantage and swept the season series last year. That includes a 121-111 home win in the most recent matchup between the teams on February 1, 2022. Both Brooklyn and Phoenix are dealing with a ton of key injuries, which is the key reason for both of their struggles. With the Suns potentially getting Paul and Johnson back for this game, it does help, but I still like Brooklyn in this matchup. Irving is expected to play, and in Durant's absence, Ben Simmons has stepped up for Brooklyn. The Suns have lost most of their key defenders, as opponents are getting a ton of open looks, while on offense, Phoenix is struggling to find its identity. I expect the Nets to try and push the pace against the Suns and force them to go into their bench early, which is an issue with so many secondary scorers out. Take the Nets to win this game and cover the spread. With so many key scorers out for Phoenix and Durant still not back for Brooklyn, I like the under in this matchup. The Nets are 26-17 in hitting the under this season, while the Suns are 23-21 in hitting the under. As well, Brooklyn is playing at a pace of just 99.6, which ranks 22nd, while Phoenix is playing at a pace of 100.4, which ranks 20th. With so many key players out, I expect the team's shooting percentage to drop a bit, while Brooklyn defends well, which should also hamper Phoenix's offense. Finally, in the Nets' last 10 games, the games are averaging 219.9 ppg, but in the last 5 games that number drops to 207.6 ppg. In the Suns' last 10 games, the games are averaging 215.9 ppg. Take the under here. Trail Blazers vs 76ers. The 76ers are defending the three-point line very well, so I'm expecting them to continue with a strong performance and outlast the Trail Blazers at Moda Center. Joel Embiid has been unstoppable all season, and the Blazers are not a good defensive team. Damian Lillard continues to impress, 39.0 ppg over his last 6 appearances, but the rest of the pack is underperforming, and the Blazers will have a tall task to execute their offense at a high level in this matchup. Portland is 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games as they have struggled recently. They are 0-4 against the spread when they are underdogs in their last 10 games. On the other hand, Philadelphia has been playing great as Embiid has been dominating the competition. The 76ers are 13-6 against the spread in their last 19 games, following an against the spread win. Take Philadelphia minus 2 points. The 76ers have been on fire, and they will be eager to stay hot after blowing past the Clippers, despite a quiet game from Harden, while the Trail Blazers have continued their struggles lately, but you can't really blame them for losing against the red-hot Nuggets, who are just running through everyone at the moment. With Embiid crushing it on the scoresheet, Philadelphia should be able to put up enough points to cover. The Trailblazers will rely on Lillard, who has scored 30 points in 6 straight games. The over is 7-0 in the 76ers' last 7 games, following an against-the-spread win. The over is 7-1 in the Trailblazers' last 8 versus a team with a winning straight-up record. Take the over 233.5 points on Thursday.